So, Breaking Barriers with Bilingual Books is basically a bilingual lending library that is set in public schools or in schools in general. And it is filled with bilingual books of many languages, depending on the language that students speak at that school district. The purpose of the program is about putting bilingual books in the hands of our bilingual students so that they have the same opportunity as their peers and have someone at home read to them, regardless of what language they speak. It actually started as I was becoming an ESL teacher. I was taking some grad classes, and one of our big projects was to come up with some kind of project that would engage our English learners, loved ones, into our schools. From my self-experience growing up, my parents never read to me when I was a child, and the reason they never had the opportunity to read to me was because they lacked books in their native language, and Spanish was the only language that they knew how to read. And so that led to me to advocate for these families and get bilingual books in their hands. So I actually advocated by going to my superintendent and saying, hey, when I was a Bloomingdale student, my parents didn't read to me because I didn't have bilingual books that they could. And I interviewed some of our parents, and they're not reading to their children either because they lack the books. It's the same cycle that has been happening for many years. Do you think this is something we can change and we can invest on so that students and parents have that opportunity at home? And our superintendent was very supportive, and she said, yeah, let's go for it. So at this point, there are 4 school districts that in Van Buren County that have the landing libraries, either in the beginning steps of building it or already installed. And I think the next one up, I'm hoping to get on board is Decatur. So that's in the near future, but it's definitely expanding. And I'll never forget this one parent. I asked her the question, are you reading the same, less, or more to your child since bilingual books have been arriving home? And she had the courage to share with me, and mind you, this is one of my 3rd graders at the time. She had the courage to share with me that it was the first time that she had ever read to her child. And so it took this parent 10 years to be able to read to her child a book at home, a book that he could enjoy and she could enjoy. And it was all due to having bilingual books available at their home. You know, literacy is life-changing, and if they're missing out at home, that's already putting them a step behind their peers. And so I just encourage the word to continue going around so that more families and more students have this opportunity in literacy.